We work all through the night and we've restored this.
Minister of Works David Umahi optimistic at reopening of Independence Bridge. President Bola Tinubu appoints Ayo Shotinri as Managing Director of Bank of Agriculture. Federal High Court adjourned suit filed by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan against Senate to May 12, 2025. Hello and thanks for joining us on the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. We are reaching you live from Abuja. I am Stella Inabeti. The part of the Independence Bridge, Ahmadu Bello Way, Victoria Island, where palliative works are ongoing and scheduled to be completed on Monday, has been reopened 3 days before target date. Here is the Minister of Works, David Umahi, to talk more on this development.
We work all through the night and we've restored this. If you ask me how did it happen, I will say it's by God's wisdom and grace. You know, how it happened is all God's. But the integrity of the bridge, the integrity of the road we have repaired is 100%. So what we are doing later is for long-term effect. But there is no problem about this repair. So we are going to be, doing a more permanent work after 3 weeks, because we don't know the integrity of the piles carrying the abutment, so that we relieve the abutment of any load at all. But the load will rather be a pin load, which we are going to introduce, which will help the piles, so we continue to press it down.
President Bola Tinubu has appointed Mr. Ayo Shotinri as the new Managing Director of the Bank of Agriculture, effective immediately. Mr. Shotinri brings a diverse and extensive background in the private and public sectors to his new role. Before this appointment, he was the Group Chief Executive Officer at SAO Group. His leadership at SAO Agro, an agribusiness company, was marked by groundbreaking agricultural initiatives, including developing a 20,000-hectare oil palm plantation and large-scale poultry, aquaculture, maize, and cassava operations in Ondo State. He also led SAO Capital, raising over $750 million in infrastructure and development finance, including the landmark $200 million Akure water supply project. In the public sector, he served as Special Advisor, Environment and Urban Development to the Minister of State FCT from 2011 to 2015. He has consulted extensively for global development partners such as the World Bank, AFDB, DFID, and USAID, and played key advisory roles on federal and state level projects. His international background includes roles at the Royal Bank of Scotland International, Deutsche Bank, and the UK Environment Agency. Mr. Shotinri holds an executive MBA from Said Business School, Oxford University, an advanced diploma in environmental conservation, and a master's in engineering business management from Warwick University. His appointment aligns with the Tinubu's administration strategy to revitalize Nigeria's agricultural sector. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has adjourned the suit filed by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan against the Senate to May 12, 2025 for further hearing. The presiding judge, Justice Binta Nyako, gave the order at the commencement of the hearing of the matter in Abuja. Judiciary correspondent Dele Atumbi reports.
Parties in this matter are Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan as plaintiff, Clerk of the National Assembly, the Senate, President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, and the Chairman, Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Code of Conduct are all respondents. The substantive matter before the court is the suspension of Senator Natasha by the Senate. At the resumed hearing of the matter afresh due to the recusal of the trial judge, the new trial judge, Justice Binta Nyako, restrained all parties from granting media interviews during the pendency of the case. Justice Binta Nyako issued the order following the complaints by the counsel to the third respondent in the matter that the plaintiff was granting media interviews on the matters that are sub judice. The court equally barred all counsel in the matter from granting media interviews on issues relating to the case currently pending before the court. Before the recusal of the first trial judge on alleged bias, the Senate President has instituted an interlocutory appeal challenging the jurisdiction of the trial court before the Court of Appeal. The Court of Appeal has adjourned the matter to the 7th of April 2025 for further hearing. Justice Binta Nyako is the second judicial officer to adjudicate over the matter, and the matter is starting afresh. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Office of the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, has condemned what it termed false and inflammatory accusations of assassination plot made by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan against the President of the Senate. A statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President of the Senate on Media and Publicity, Eseme Eyibio, said the suspended Senator Natasha this week claimed that Senator Akpabio has recruited former Governor Yahaya Bello to assassinate her in Kogi rather than in Abuja. The statement sees the accusation as outrageous, false, a complete fabrication and irresponsible, as well as dangerous attempt to provoke public interest and media attention. The statement describes this recent falsehood as a pattern deployed to manipulate and exploit public sensitivities through recurring victimhood narratives. Senator Akpabio, however, remains undeterred in his devotion to national unity, institutional integrity, and the rule of law, as the timing, tone, and similarity of attacks directed at him point clearly to a politically motivated smear campaign. The Supreme Court has set aside the verdict of the Court of Appeal in Abuja, which affirmed Julius Abure as the national chairman of the Labour Party. In a unanimous decision, the 5-member panel of justices of the Apex Court ruled that the Court of Appeal lacked the jurisdiction to affirm Abure's position as LP's national chairman. The court held that the substance of the case centered on party leadership, which falls under internal party affairs, a matter over which courts lack jurisdiction. The Supreme Court effectively nullified the Court of Appeal's earlier decision, reinforcing its stance that leadership disputes within political parties should be resolved internally rather than through judicial intervention. In the meantime, the National Working Committee of the Labour Party says Julius Abure remains its national chairman and that the Supreme Court judgment is clear in directing the party to resolve its issues through internal mechanisms. A statement by the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Obiora Ifo, says the Supreme Court categorically cautioned lower courts from interfering in internal issues of political parties as they lack jurisdiction to do so. He called on the media to stop giving wrong interpretations to the court judgment, as there was no declaration by the Supreme Court sacking Julius Abure from office. The National Judicial Council has distanced itself from the purported appointment of Justice Theophilus Nnamdi Nzuku, who is number 4 in the hierarchy of judges' seniority in Imo State High Court, as the acting chief judge by the state governor, Hope Uzodinma. In a statement, the NJC acknowledged that the governor of Imo State had earlier written to the council requesting for its approval to appoint Justice Theophilus Nzuku, who is number 4 in the hierarchy of seniority, as acting chief judge of the state. The council maintained that the governor gave reasons why, in his own view, the 3 most senior judges were not appointable. In light of this, the National Judicial Council said the request of the governor was yet to be considered and has not given approval for the appointment of acting chief judge for Imo State. The statement cleared the air that the NJC is not a party to the process of the purported appointment of Justice Theophilus Nnamdi Nzuku as the acting chief judge of Imo State. The position became vacant in view of the NJC's recent disciplinary action taken against the erstwhile chief judge of the state. The urgent need to continuously support growth opportunities for women and the girl child across Africa is the thrust of the African Women's Summit in Abuja. Thomas Ogbetere reports that over 200 women and girls were empowered at the event.
The African Women's Summit brought together women and girls from diverse backgrounds and industries to discuss pressing issues, share experiences, and empower one another. The engagement is to also advocate for policies that support gender equality.
And anyhow we see fit to empower the woman and the girl child, we do that. Like today we'll be launching the mentorship program for 200 young girls where they'll be mentored for 1 year by 20 women.
So we really want to come and open their eyes for them to understand that they can do so much. That being a woman or being a girl is not supposed to limit you.
And we will join hands together with them to make sure that Nigerian girls are empowered. Women in Nigeria are empowered. Nigerian girls are educated.
So with this summit, at the end of the day, every girl child here or out there will know that they have a lot of potentials and they don't need to be victimized or intimidated.
Speakers encouraged Nigerian women to challenge stereotypes, speak up, prioritize their health, and strive to become entrepreneurs with the mindset that there is no limit to self-development.
So they are going to be financially independent and, of course, gain confidence and be able to also contribute to the economic development of this nation.
I believe this event is a great opportunity for us women to change the world.
African women are very smart, very intelligent, and have a lot of potential.
The mega summit themed Africa Rising, harnessing the potentials of women and the girl child for sustainable development, was also aimed at protecting the rights of women and creating a fair and just society where every girl child has the opportunity to attain full potentials. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
The news desk at 6 is reaching you on NTA News 24. More reports after the break.
Celebrate Ramadan with Bafi and enjoy up to 40% off on selected products from living room, dining room, bedroom, and royal sets. Pay less, save more, and refresh your home for iftar gatherings and cherished moments with family and friends. Visit our showrooms in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, and Enugu, or shop online to enjoy our exclusive Ramadan sale. Let's make this Ramadan unforgettable.
Thanks for staying. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria want government to come up with inclusive policies in schools, workplaces, and public spaces in adopting neurodiversity. This, they believe, will empower autistic persons and make life easier, as well as enable them to thrive and contribute meaningfully in society. Lydia Sampson reports.
There's unique challenges in navigating a world designed for neurotypical people. However, with deliberate, thoughtful strategies and inclusive practices, life can be made easier for autistic persons, fostering both independence and overall well-being.
That may explain why parental age is a risk factor. It's also incriminated that drugs taken during pregnancy, particularly sodium valproate, is one of the drugs used for seizures or epilepsy.
Beyond awareness, I think Nigeria has, taken active steps to raise awareness, but then the stigma still exists. So people know about autism, or they have an idea of what it's like, but then they don't want to associate themselves with the community. They don't want to associate themselves with the individuals.
They noted that consistency is key, while structured meetings help autistic individuals feel secure and reduce anxiety. The girls emphasized that predictable schedules for meals, therapy, and activities can provide stability, while preparing them for changes in advance minimizes stress.
One thing I put emphasis on for parents with autism and special need in general, you have to keep hope alive and keep working towards making a better life for your child.
For government, they should come up with programs to train professionals, support parents, so that it can be easier for them, and also create more awareness for early intervention.
Experts insist that communication should be tailored to individual preferences. For instance, direct questions and avoiding abstract language can ease interactions. Therefore, respecting different communication styles, such as limited eye contact or alternative methods like written responses, ensures mutual understanding. Positive reinforcement, according to the girls, is equally vital because acknowledging achievements with specific praise or small rewards encourages growth and confidence. They acknowledge by fostering empathy and embracing diversity, society can ensure autistic persons thrive in every aspect of life. In Abuja, Lydia Samson, NTA News.
A 23-member council of the Chartered Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering of Nigeria has been inaugurated with a charge on the members to fight quackery and ensure professionalism in the engineering profession. Chinenye Nwoye reports that the 23 council members drawn from 13 bodies have a 2-year tenure.
Yes, these electrical and electronic engineers say they have had to condone and endure with the pains of substandard delivery provided by incompetent and fake technical hands cutting across the engineering cadre.
It is faithfully.
This inauguration and oath taken by these council members, in addition to those who joined the meeting virtually, is a call to action to use the force of law and professionalism to fight quackery in the engineering profession. President of the Nigerian Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers said the members are drawn from 13 bodies and entities, including COREN, SON, MBTE, NITIDA, NCC, NEMSA, etc.
We have tolerated quackery and the economic as well as social and health implications. Everyone knew that the solution lied in strict professionalism.
Usman Momo, who is also a council member, speaks on the challenges of system regulation.
We are vast. You have power, you have communication, you have instrumentation, you have avionics, so it's vast. So, and we've all come together to say, yes, we want to take electrical engineering back and bring back the standard, the regulation, the professionalism that it has always been.
A website and a logo has been designed for the Chartered Institute for Electrical and Electronic Engineering. To hit the ground running, some recommendations have been made to the Council, and they include the need to map out a master plan for office setup, membership registration, and creation of organs of the Chartered Institute that will implement their policies. In Abuja, Chinenye Nwoye, NTA News.
Now, Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf has commended the fatherly role of traditional rulers in addressing security concerns and promoting peaceful coexistence. He gave the commendation when the Emir of Araye, Mohammed Muraz, paid him a Salah homage at the Kano Government House. Abdullahi Mustafa has the details.
Salah in Kano is a moment of display of royalty, culture and traditions. Traditional rulers are what represent all these. Emir of Karai, Muhammad Mahraz, is at the government house to pay Salah homage on Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf. This has also been a tradition for years. Not just paying homage, the moment is also used by royal fathers to update the governor on developments and activities in their domains. For the Emir of Karai, ensuring security and peaceful coexistence were his priority. He also appealed to the governor to ensure the completion of some abandoned projects and a lasting solution to acute water shortage in the Emirates. Governor Bakabir Yusuf commended the Emir for his commitment to security of lives and property, assuring of support in this direction and completion of the abandoned Janguza-Kabo-Karai road in view of its socio-economic importance. In addition, the governor assured government will build a stadium in Karai to promote sporting activities and nurture talent in the Emirates. Governor Yusuf had earlier received the Emir of Rano Muhammad Isa Umar and that of Gaya Ali Ibrahim Abdul Qadir, who paid a similar visit. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu celebrates longtime friend and Asiwaju of Ijebu land, Suleiman Adebola Adegunwa, on his 80th birthday. The president joins family, friends and business associates of the renowned industrialist and philanthropist in celebrating the milestone, which caps outstanding years of investment in people and institutions that have significantly impacted the economy. President Tinubu salutes Adegunwa, the former chairman of Sterling Bank, for his broad-mindedness in investing in key sectors that drive growth, employment and livelihoods. Adegunwa is the chairman and CEO of Ese Holdings Limited, the parent company of Wright Foods Limited. The latter operates a world-class production facility in Ososa, Ogun State. President Tinubu prays for long life and good health for the octogenarian. Let's now take another look at our top stories.
And we've restored this.
Minister of Works David Umahi optimistic at reopening of Independence Bridge. President Bola Tinubu appoints Ayo Shotinri as Managing Director of Bank of Industry, Agriculture. Federal High Court adjourns suit filed by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan against Senate to May 12, 2025. Welcome back. The remains of a renowned Islamic scholar, Sheikh Idris Abdulaziz Dusen Tanshi, has been put to rest at Dungulbi Cemetery, Bauchi State, in accordance with Islamic teachings. The late Islamic cleric died at his residence 1 week after receiving medical attention in Saudi Arabia and India. Muazu Hassan reports.
The teeming Muslims from within and outside Bauchi State, including family, friends and students, pay their last Islamic respect known as the funeral prayer, which was led by the Deputy Chief Imam of Dusen Tanshi Mosque, Malam Ya'u Idris. The remains of late Sheikh Idris Abdulaziz was taken and buried at Dungulbi Cemetery in Bauchi Metropolis. The 2023 APC gubernatorial candidate Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, alongside former and Sabi legislators as well as the Islamic scholars, were among the people who attended the burial.
Malam has left a legacy of consistency in his dawah, trying to teach Islamic monotheism.
We people who were with him, very close with him, he didn't hesitate to tell us the fact, the truth. We are praying for his family and others to be taking care throughout their lifetime.
As the champion of Islamic monotheism and affirmation of oral tradition of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, late Sheikh Idris Abdulaziz died at the age of 68 and survived by his each mother, 3 wives and 38 children. In Bauchi, Muaz Hassan, NTA News.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has expressed sadness over the passing of Bauchi-based Islamic cleric Dr. Idris Abdulaziz Dutsen Tanshi, who passed away in the early hours of Friday. He was 68 years old. President Tinubu said the cleric contributed to molding millions of youths and other Muslim faithful on the tenets of Islam. The president extolled Dr. Abdulaziz's efforts in countering the spread of violent extremism, especially in the early days of Boko Haram conflict. He said the Muslim faithful would greatly miss the cleric's trenchant voice, calling for moral rectitude and probity. While praying for the repose of Dr. Abdulaziz's soul, President Tinubu urges his family and followers to find solace in his good work. That concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Stella Inameti.